Yo, what is up guys? This is Pedro here, and in today's video I will be giving you guys 5 different linebackers that I think the Washington football team should target this year in the draft. Some of them are first round, targets, and some of them are kind of mid-round guys, so make sure you guys stick till the end to see who I think we should target. And if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. So as most of you guys know, linebacker is a huge position of need for the Washington football team and could be a position that they draft early in this year's draft, and I think they will, whether it be in the first round, second round, or third round. They have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, and I think at least one of those picks will be linebackers. So we're going to be looking at some guys that are projected to go in the first round, some in the second, and some in the third/4th round. So let's get right into it. So the first guy that I think the Washington football team should target if he is there at 19 is Jeremiah Russo. He's one of my favorite players in this year's draft. He's about 6'1", and right here ESPN has him listed at about 215 pounds, but at his pro day he weighed in at about 221 pounds, so he is putting on some weight, and he's probably going to continue to put on some weight because he does want to play linebacker in the NFL. This past season, had about 55 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 interception. He's super versatile, and it's probably him or maybe Jabriel Cox as the best, coverage linebackers in this year's draft. Really good at short to intermediate coverage, can also come off of the edge and get to the quarterback. This year only 1.5 sacks. He didn't do it as much, but the year before had 8.5 sacks and 5 forced fumbles in the last 2 years combined. And the only, I would say, concern with him isn't really a concern with the player, it's more with the fit in Washington. I still would probably take him if he's there at 19, but he's kind of a linebacker / strong safety breed, and if they definitely see him as a linebacker, then I think he would be a good pick at 19. Like I said, strong safety. The only problem, if that is how they see him, or a breed in between the two, is Cameron Curl right now, he played strong safety for us last year, so we already kind of have our strong safety. Maybe Cameron Curl could play free safety, but he already excelled in that strong safety position this past year. And then Landon Collins is also kind of that strong safety player, and a lot of people think he could play linebacker too. That's not going to happen, but still, he's kind of a similar player to Jeremiah Russo. But like I said, if they see him as a true linebacker, which he definitely could be, he's putting on some extra weight because he thinks he is one, then I think it would be a great pick at 19. He's super versatile, which is what they like. He's a freak. And I think it would be a great pick at 19. He's just too good of a player to pass up, and he might not be there at 19. So another player that I think would be a good pick, I don't know at 19, could be a little bit later, is Jamal Davis. He's risen up, draft boards a month or so ago. A lot of people had him in that 3rd round range, but now I see him, Mel Kiper had him at 17, some people a little bit later, but it looks like he's going to be, mid first to late first, maybe early second, but I don't see that. He ran a really good time at 40-yard dash time at his pro day. I think it was a 4.4 around that. He had an over a 40-inch vertical leap, 6'4", 234 pounds, could have even measured more than that at his pro day, and had a really good breakout year this past year at Kentucky. Had 89 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown. Super rangy, really explosive. He can cover really well for a linebacker. He's a 3-down guy. He's better in zone coverage, which is what we use more than man, but he also can play man. But he's a good scheme fit for us. One of the, I would say a little bit of a red flag, he hasn't had a huge sample size. This year was his best year by far. Before that, he didn't really get much snaps, but still had a very good, year this year. Again, really good speed that showed in his 40-yard dash time, and he's pretty solid at getting off of blocks. So I think whether that be, maybe you trade back a little bit in the first round and get him in that 20, in 25, 26, around that range, you can get some extra draft picks and get your linebacker of the future if there's really not a player you're in love with at 19. He's really risen up draft boards and could be taken a lot higher than most people think. Keep your eye out for Jamal Davis. The next guy on this list, a lot of people love him, and that is Zaven Collins, and he could be another guy that could be a little bit later in the first round. I wouldn't be really upset if we got him at 19, but maybe could be another situation where we trade back a little bit and get the best linebacker available, whether that be Jamal Davis or Zaven Collins. We can trade back and get one of these guys. Zaven Collins, super versatile. He's about 6'4", 260 pounds, as a former quarterback in college, wasn't heavily recruited, and just absolutely balled out at Tulsa. This past year, again, keep in mind, only played 6 games because of the pandemic, but 54 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions. That is just crazy. He's super versatile, had one of the best seasons of any college defenders this past year, was an absolute beast. He's kind of a hybrid. He can play, outside linebacker. He can play inside linebacker as well. I mean, he had 4 interceptions, kind of similar to Anthony Barr. I see a little bit of Anthony Barr in him. Could be a mid to late first round pick, and I would not mind him because super versatile, and we could use someone that could come off the edge occasionally if Chase Young or Montez Sweat is off. And he also is solid in coverage, getting 4 interceptions this past year, and okay in the run game. So definitely would not mind him at all. He's a freak of nature. Let's move on to the next guy. So Jabriel Cox is another guy that, he's going to be in that probably second round range, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later. Late first to early third is what I see. There's mixed opinions on him. Played at North Dakota State for his first 3 years in college. Didn't really play much, but this past year at LSU, he had a really good 2019 season, but 2020 had a pretty good season as well. 58 tackles, 1 sack, 3 interceptions, and a touchdown. Really, really good in coverage. He's about 6'4", 231 pounds. He's good in both man and zone coverage. He has some good range. Only a little bit of a downside. He's not the best, in run defense, but he's still okay there. But a really good cover guy, which we do need because, Bostic isn't great in coverage, and Holcomb is really good against the run and can get to the quarterback. And he improved in coverage, but still not great in coverage. And Jabriel Cox is one of the best cover corners, or not. Sorry, I keep on saying that. One of the best cover linebackers this year in the draft. Would not mind if we took a flyer on him in the second round, around that range. He would be a really good pickup there. And the last guy, I wanted to do 5 players, and this is Pete Werner from Ohio State. He's probably going to be in that third round, and there's other players I could have added in here. Chaz Surratt, really like him. Baron Brownrigg, another Ohio State linebacker. But this is the last guy. I saw Ben Standig mocked him to Washington, and this year they only played 5 games, so that's why his stats are a little bit down. 37 tackles, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles, 6'3", 242 pounds. He fits in the 4-3 scheme, which is good. Could be a Sam linebacker and possibly even an inside linebacker, which is really what we need. He's an every down linebacker. He's a good tackler. Okay in coverage, good against the run. And, he would be a solid fit here. I think they're probably going to take a tackle in the first round. I'd probably rather get a linebacker. But if those, top 4 tackles aren't on the board, then I think they will go linebacker in the first round. And if one of those tackles is available in the first, they'll probably go tackle and then linebacker either in the second or in the third round. So that's why I kind of did all these guys are first to third to fourth round. linebackers, because I am very confident we will draft one in that range. So those are kind of the 5 guys. Let me know which one of these guys is your favorite player at a specific round, which one you think fits Washington the best. Any of these guys I would really love for Washington to draft. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video, and peace.